Hey everybody, how you doing? How you doing? So we're gonna go ahead and finish our lessons on codependence. I haven't done anything on it in 2 months, but I definitely want to continue because I got some feedback how it's been really helpful to people. It's just really cold, but I do have clothes on. I don't want you to think that I'm coming here in my robe, although I did this morning. All right, so today there are 5 symptoms of codependence, and there's 5 symptoms of being an adult. One of the symptoms of being an adult is you express your reality moderately, right? You experience and express your reality moderately. Codependents often come up with skewed interpretations of what is going on around them and develop extreme solutions to problems. A person with with this difficulty can easily interpret someone else's compliment as a sarcastic criticism or someone's humor as a painful attack. Solutions arrived at on the basis of skewed interpretations often have the codependent doing exactly the opposite of whatever he or she thinks is causing the problem. For instance, if a man's wife tells him that she would appreciate it if he wouldn't interrupt her so much, if a man, for instance, if a man's wife tells him that she would appreciate it if he wouldn't interrupt her so often when she's working on the bookkeeping, he might decide never to interrupt her and not to tell her about telephone calls or even genuine emergencies she needs to be informed of. Or if a husband asks his wife to spend a little less on the groceries, she might decide to put the whole family on basic survival rations in order to avoid overspending on the food. So, this symptom is a symptom of overdoing things or underdoing things. And in the book of Facing Codependence, it says, not knowing how to be moderate is probably the most visible symptom of codependence to other people. And trying to deal with a person who is always acting at one extreme or the other is very difficult for those attempting to relate to the codependent in the same household. In other words, codependents simply don't know or understand what moderation is. They are usually totally involved or totally detached, totally happy or absolutely miserable, etc. The codependent believes a moderate response to a situation isn't enough. The codependent believes a moderate response to a situation isn't enough. Only too much is enough. This symptom has manifestation in all 4 areas of reality: the body. Many codependents dress immoderately. At one extreme, people hide their bodies wearing baggy clothes. To at the other extreme, they dress like, uh, too much. They're very flamboyant. Everybody's staring at them, or they dress in skimpy tight clothing so their bodies are clearly revealed to everyone. Right? She says people who usually do that have been sexually molested. Thinking. Codependents think in terms of black or white, right or wrong, good or bad. There are few gray areas. They have trouble seeing options in life. There's only one answer. In relationships, codependents often operate from the belief if you don't agree with me completely, you're totally against me. Solutions for problems are extreme. For instance, if George tells Sam about something Sam did that bothered him, Sam's solution to the problem could well be to think that he should never see George again in order to avoid offending him. You see how extreme that is? So, in other words, George tells Sam, "You did something that bothered me." And then Sam, in his codependency and not knowing how to be moderate, his response to that is, "Okay, well, I'll never talk to you again." Anyway, feelings. Oh, wait a minute. Where's George at? Oh, feelings. Now, this is pretty long, you guys. So I'm not going to do feelings. Not today. I'm going to be moderate and I'm going to stop at thinking. And basically, she said that codependents don't know how to be moderate and that we think in extreme ways. We think in black or white, right or wrong, good or bad, and there are a few gray areas. Codependents have trouble in seeing options in their life. There's only right one answer. Let's see. I think the feelings in here are not as long. All right, here we go. Another way that codependents are not moderate is with their emotions. Okay, this is deep. Listen to this, especially if you have emotional problems, because you're going to finally understand why you might have some emotional problems. She says, the heart and soul of codependence lies in the difficulty codependents have knowing what their feelings are and how to share them. Codependents seem to have the most difficulty experiencing feelings moderately experiencing feelings moderately. They feel little or no emotions or have explosive or agonizing emotions. I just went through this. I had explosive and agonizing feelings 3 days ago. I couldn't even sleep. She says there are four different kinds of feeling reality that codependents can experience. And until one can recognize these four kinds of feelings and where they come from, life can be very baffling and confusing. The first feeling reality is your adult feeling reality. This is how you feel as an adult. And she says, adult feeling reality is a mature, authentic, emotional response to your thinking. It is not dysfunctional or codependent. These feelings are usually moderate when you experience them and cause you to feel centered within yourself. Your current thinking about your life today creates these feelings. Excuse me. Experience I call this experience acting out of the adult in you. Now check this out, right? Then there is adult induced feeling reality. In functional people, adult induced feelings are the result of a process called empathy. As a healthy adult, as a healthy adult, you can be empathic with someone else, and as a healthy adult, let me read over here. All right, let's do these. So the first feeling reality is the adult feeling reality, right? That's the first feeling reality. The second feeling reality is you could be feeling somebody else's emotions. See, as codependents, the boundaries are kind of shaky. So somebody else can be feeling something, and then you start feeling their emotions, and you think that that's how you're feeling. Listen, she says adult to adult induced feeling. She goes, you do this when you take on emotions from other adults. This can happen when you are physically close to someone who is feeling intensely, or who is in denial of his or her feelings, or who is acting irresponsibly with his or her feelings. This experience is called empathy when the amount taking in is moderate and controlled by the internal boundary. When too much feeling from another person is taken on by the codependent starts to feel overwhelmed and crazy. So if you start, you have to ask yourself, am I feeling moderate and centered? If you're feeling moderate and centered, you are you are feeling your adult feelings. But if you're feeling overwhelmed and crazy, she says those are not your feelings, because your feelings won't make you feel overwhelmed and crazy. Your own feelings are not going to make you feel overwhelmed and crazy. You could be feeling other people's feelings in the workplace, at your house. That's why you got to know who's feeling what up in this bitch, right? Then the third feeling reality is frozen feelings from childhood. You experience the release of your own feelings from childhood that were not safe to feel as a child. To survive whatever abuse you experience, you shut down or froze those feelings. As you begin to come out of your defense mechanisms, you feel these feelings as an adult. And the way that you know you're feeling childhood emotions is you feel extremely vulnerable and childlike when they come up. The last type of feelings that you could feel are called carried or induced feelings from childhood. Listen to this. You feel the feelings of the person who abused you that were induced into you in childhood. Yes, you feel overwhelmed or out of control when you experience them. So one time, this woman, so let me give you some examples of this. Um, One time, this woman, I was sitting close to her, and she was acting all tough, and she was acting all tough. And I felt fear all of a sudden, but I knew that I wasn't afraid of anything. I mean, not like that, but nothing was happening in that moment that was causing me to feel fear. But I started feeling fear, and I had to step back away from her, right? That's what she's saying. Sometimes you're just standing too close to someone that you can actually feel their emotions. So I had to step back, step back, step back until I didn't feel her emotions anymore. And I finally said to her, I said, you're feeling a lot of fear right now, huh? She goes, well, yeah, I'm getting a divorce and I don't know where I'm going to live. And I had picked up on her emotions. Then one time, I remember when I had a financial crisis, I felt despair, like hopelessness. And that's an induced feeling from childhood, because it was an overwhelming feeling. That's why you got to know, which feeling are you feeling right now? Am I feeling my feelings? Because your adult feelings are going to make you feel moderate and in control. Am I feeling your feelings? Your feeling somebody else's feelings is going to make you feel crazy. Am I feeling, what was the third one? Am I feeling frozen feelings from childhood? If you're feeling frozen feelings from childhood, you're going to feel extremely vulnerable and childlike. Or am I feeling feelings that were induced from my childhood from my abuser? Okay. All right. So she says, the source of this symptom, I believe extreme expressions of all four areas of reality, physical, thinking, feeling, and behavioral, come from observing our major caregivers expressing their own reality immoderately. In addition, codependents experience feelings at extreme levels because they encounter four different kinds of feeling realities: adult feeling reality, adult induced feeling reality, frozen feelings from childhood, and adult to child carried feelings. So, the powerlessness related to this symptom is the way your reality feels to you, and also the way you express it to others is extreme. Your distorted reality can feel very painful to you, or its expression to others can be extremely offensive and explosive, or your communication of it can be the opposite, subdued and withheld altogether. You may operate immoderately in only one of the two areas, or you may operate immoderately in different areas in each area in different ways in each area. So in the workbook, she says, describe one or more incidents that illustrate how you have difficulty experiencing or expressing your reality with moderation and at your own age level in any or all parts of your reality. So that's it. It's just about learning how to be moderate with your thinking. I really got a lot out of that, especially when she says codependents often come up with skewed interpretations of what's going on around them and develop extreme solutions to problems. A person with this difficulty can easily interpret someone's compliment remark as criticism or someone's humor as a painful attack. I really like this. I like the whole idea of functioning in my adult feeling reality. She says, when you're in your adult feeling reality, you experience a mature emotional response to your thinking that does not drudge up data from the past. You feel centered when you experience it. Okay. All right, you guys. So this week, let's work on being moderate. Let's work on being moderate. And yeah, that's it. This week, we're going to work on being moderate, having a moderate response to things. Um, just, like sometimes some parents are out of control with how they behave with their children. Like their kid can do something that kids do and they just lose it. God damn it. And it's like, wait, hold on. Why are you acting so immoderately? That's not a moderate response to a kid being a kid. And so I'm going to give you this example and then I'm going to leave. Um, I did something that I wasn't too proud of. And I had to do what I had to do. I really had to do what I had to do, but I wasn't proud of it. But the night before I had to do it, I couldn't sleep. I was having panic attacks. Um, I was up all night. I was pacing back and forth. It was terrible. And I realized this is not an adult response to what is going on now. I was in a frozen childhood feelings. I was feeling other people's feelings, and I was having an extreme attack of immoderation. I wasn't being moderate at all. And there was nothing I can do about it. There was nothing that I could do to make me feel moderate. But now I try to remember to be moderate when I deal with my relationship. Like last night or yesterday we had gotten into it And even when I'm responding back and I'm being sassy, I have to control what I say and be moderate with my verbiage and not go too extreme. I got a toothache. I need to go take some aspirin. I can't talk anymore. All right, you guys. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Come back. God bless.